stack it this high, something's going to tumble off the top banks. Tribe Gaming has been in this position many times before. They're a bit of a wild card, sometimes putting up huge 13, 14-star performances and kind of sometimes disappointing with only 11. It's going to be up to them this time to keep consistent against an MKMA army that, as Judo just said, has got a lot of really skilled attackers, notably XC, one of the world champions from last year, is here to defend his title. First up attacking, though, is going to be Nick from Tribe Gaming. Judo?
Nick will be using the lightning spells into Lava Loon. He has already taken out one of the Expos and the scatter shot. Now remember, we do have an extra 20 troop capacity due to the most recent update. And I, for one, Woody, am very intrigued whether we will just see the same attacks we have seen in previous qualifiers, but with more troops, or whether we will see exciting new strategies. I'm sure we are set to see both of them, in fact.
That's right. Every time you get a big buff to your army camp space, you could potentially increase not just the size of your attack, but the style of it as well. That's when we saw Grand Warden walks coming in the game a few months ago whenever his damage increase came about. But yeah, big hit early on for Nick. Unfortunately, didn't get that Ice Golem all the way over onto the Inferno Tower and is now having to pop his Queen ability to keep her alive against a single target Inferno that has burnt up 2 healers pretty hard.
Definitely not what Nick was expecting. The Queen walked around the outside of the base. I'm pretty confident he wanted the Queen in towards the Eagle, so he just has to adapt his Lava Loon a little bit here. But the key benefit is that the Archer Queen can now be protected from the Lava Loon as well. But he's committed a lot of balloons to the Eagle, now driving in the main phase of his attack from the north of the base. And notice the Grand Warden's ability used early, Woody, to protect the Battle Blimp all of the way through the base, and it now does get to the Town Hall.
He also dropped a lightning spell to take care of that headhunter coming out of the CC and barely managed to get those balloons right on top of the scatter shot. Nick is doing a great job with what little he has left, and there are a ton of balloons in the backside still floating through, holding on to a haste spell and a freeze spell. He might just have enough to get to the backside. A freeze goes down at the last second to protect those balloons from the Wizard Tower, but hold on, we've got the big old Archer Queen and not a whole lot to deal with her.
Not a whole lot indeed. He uses the poison to try and slow her down. Headhunters come across, take her down. He has a couple of balloons, but with the Wizard Tower looming, Woody, I am not too sure whether he has enough force. He has a few balloons slowly moving across. Oh, the Grand Warden takes it down. Can you believe that, Woody? Now it is a cleanup to the end of the attack, and Nick is going to open this war with a 3-star.
Awesome job for Nick. I was a bit worried about that Lava Hound distracting his forces. The pups are still slowing things down a bit, but he's got 13 seconds left and quite a few balloons, pups, and minions all around the map. A single Seeking Air Mine is not enough to deny the triple, and Nick from Tribe Gaming puts the first 3-star on the board.
Wow, it got very close down towards the end, but that is the benefit of having just a couple of balloons able to really do high damage onto the big HP buildings, such as the Clan Castle. Now, a key part was getting the Battle Blimp to the Town Hall, as you see, taking that down early and ensuring that the balloons were able to just finish off. The perfect start, Woody, for Tribe Gaming.
And you see how few hit points remain on those balloons that pathed over the scatter shot in the center of the base. Protecting them with a life over aura from that Grand Warden might have just made the difference between a 3-star and a 2-star fail. Getting that scatter shot down was so crucially important and really puts KLY's feet to the fire. The next attacker from MKMA moving on in with another Lava Loon hit. Seems to be one of the favorites from the pros now that they've got a little bit more space in their army camps. Haven't seen the 2 new troops yet, though, the Super Minion and the Super Valkyrie. We got a little bit of a sneak peek at what the pros might be doing with those in the warm-up matches yesterday, but not yet deployed in this round, Judo.
Yes, I'm pretty confident we will see them at some stage, but I am intrigued that we have seen Lava Loon attacks to kick this one off. Now, the Barbarian King Woody just took out the single target Inferno, which was perfect. Now we have the Royal Champion taking out another one of the Infernos, and this is more of your hero dive opening. So just using the heroes to get value, create pathing, and can he get the scatter shot here as well? I'm not too sure. The Queen could step up. If she takes the scatter shot, then that could be huge. It's not going to happen. Lures the CC though, which was not intended, and now has to adapt. Keep an eye on the headhunters. They could move across to the Grand Warden once deployed.
And you are seeing the power of those super minions on the backside, paired up with those headhunters and a seeking air mine. They have popped down the stone slammer far on the exterior of the base. They'll be able to take down a scatter shot with that, but KLY has lost a lot of his forces early on. These balloons, though, are getting a lot of warden protection. One lava hound out in front to soak for them. The others have popped over on the right side corner. Eagle artillery is pounding away at these forces, but KLY is not giving up. Pops the Grand Warden Eternal without any air sweepers to worry about. He is on track to victory. Has still got a skeleton spell to use on the backside, maybe for this Grand Champion. But yeah, there pops it right now. Royal Champion going down, and the last line of defenses are being burnt up, but less than a minute for cleanup, Judo.
The skeleton spell was perfectly placed, but with a lot of balloons, he just has to close out the wizard tower, Woody. It is doing a lot of work. Maybe we will see a red air bomb here. Not quite on defense. The wizard tower will go down, but the balloons are so little in health that the archer tower and the Tesla can take them down very quickly here. There's still a dragon at the north of the base. The archer queen altar is the main thing that could cause the time fail here. Balloons will get the Tesla. They move on across. And can he do it? It's looking promising. It might be the responding 3-star, but it is all about time. He's got to get the Archer Queen altar, Woody.
That defensive Barbarian King is a brick wall, defending and stalling out the last remaining attackers. KLY has got a long way to go. That Archer Queen blitz standing. 3 seconds left. The minions make it. Fire away. And without any time to spare, KLY ties it back up 3-3, Banks.
And that is how you open up the 5th qualifier of the World Championships. What an incredible first 2 attacks. Nick just managing to, both of them just managing to clutch up that 100% 3 stars, which is exactly how both teams wanted to kick off today, Woody.
Wow, what a showing. And take a look at this replay. The early entry into the base went a little bit dicey, but hey, just like horseshoes and hand grenades, close enough is good enough in this early hit from KLY. The cleanup at the end coming in overwhelming. Even those upgraded Archer Towers and Teslas were not enough to stop this air raid. And finally, we're going to get a chance to go down to the ground, Judo. We're moving back in with Yetis and Bowlers.
Evechek stepping up, starting out with the Queen Walk, pulls a couple of the Clan Castle troops. You might have noticed in the previous attack, these super minions on defense can be very good against the Queen Walk, and here they come, Woody, alongside the Headhunters. That is going to force a couple of spells. There is the Poison spell, needs to use a freeze spell onto the super minions as well. That is the key benefit to using these super minions on defense, is that you have to ensure to use a spell to get through them, so it forces 2 spells from the opponent.
Headhunters and super minions really dangerous for a Queen Walk, and that's going to slow Evechek down a bit early on. Took him 45 seconds to deal with that top corner, but he's getting a lot of value from this Queen Walk. Doesn't get her to go inside the compartment just yet, but that's exactly what he needs. That enemy Archer Queen is a really important target for her to take down early on. There's a crack in the wall at that top side, so maybe she does path inside. Jump spell goes down though, and that'll give an easy entry point for these Yetis and Bowlers. They are smashing through and are not afraid of all of that single target Inferno. It's burning up, but I don't think it's locked onto the King. And Evechek is really going on an early rampage. Keeps his Queen alive through the encounter. Can those healers keep her topped off?
Oh, they can, Woody, but he might have wanted the healers with the Yetis and Bowlers. They are vulnerable now. Has to pop the Grand Warden's ability to try and help them through. He's got a lot of force to the Town Hall, but he will be vulnerable to the Giga Bomb. There it goes. Oh, the Hog Riders took major damage, and I think the split between the Queen and the Yetis did cause issues here, but it's how he can adapt. Still has the Royal Champion, Woody. He still has a shot, but the Archer Queen goes down. The healer's now vulnerable. Everything going wrong here for Evechek.
Bacon should be fried, not flash frozen. That huge Giga Bomb going off from the Town Hall slowed down the main force of the attack, and without the Archer Queen to back it up, Evechek is running into a lot of difficulty on the other side of the base. Just under a minute left, and it looks like 3 stars is out of the question for our Tribe Gaming attacker. He's got the 2, though, and is working high in the percentage. Still has a little bit of army to clean up along the outer edge. Might be able to push into the 90s, but man, ran into a lot of difficulty. 2 scatter shots still standing on the other side of the base, I think, were the main problems that he ran into. XC's defense will hold on this time, Judo.
It certainly will. The Queen on defense, pulling the Archer Queen away from the Yetis and Bowlers, was the turning point of that attack. Tribe Gaming keep the percentage relatively high, but now MKMA have the opportunity to take an early lead if they 3-star again.
Not an easy ask, especially when they barely pulled it off in their first attack, but hey, we have seen some really incredible hits from these players before, and next up is someone you will remember. Tuho has been #1 in the Legendary Cup tournament twice, picking up 6,463 and then later 6,672 trophies. This guy has got so much competitive experience, it's impossible to overstate his effectiveness. But will he be able to get that triple when it matters most? It's all fair in love and war, and any given Sunday can see a big swing in performance one side or the other. He's bringing the super minions this time, and we might finally get a chance to watch a triple in action with these new troops, Judo.
He's used one of the super minions to the right-hand side. Remember, the super minion's special ability will give you 5 long-ranged shots. So uses that to his advantage to snipe off one of the buildings, then using the dragons now to tank because the super minions don't have a whole stack of HP, and they merge together moving through with the Grand Warden's ability. But notice these skeleton spells here, Woody. I am very intrigued to see where he will use them. There it is, testing for a Tesla farm. He actually does pop it, and the battle blimp comes to the Town Hall. He's got a lot of super minions left, but the dragons are struggling in the center of the base.
Ooh, Giga Bomb goes off, and the Grand Warden was nowhere near protecting those troops, but still back behind a little bit with those dragons. They're doing their best to set fire to this base. Tuho is going all the way to the top corner now, but a single target Inferno and an air defense still stands tall, trying their best to defend against a force that is just furiously fighting to the last. The last free spell goes off, and that's going to be their final opportunity to take it down. 2 hero abilities left. The King and the Queen are ready to pop them off, but they need to finish off this single target Inferno right now, Judo.
Oh, they do! You can see the strength of this attack, and he still has the King and Queen abilities, which could be the savior, trying to use the skeleton spells to distract the single target Inferno and the air defense. It worked, but they took down the dragons and minions. The King and Queen will celebrate, take down the final buildings, Woody, and it will be the 3-star for MKMA, Banks.
Yes, MKMA pull ahead of Tribe Gaming in the opening war of the day. An incredible performance there from Tuho, managing to drive his way through that entire base. An unfortunate turn of events there for Evechek when he was doing his attack. And also, I have to mention as well, I didn't mention earlier as well, Nick, what an amazing way to adapt on the fly when the opening stages of his attack didn't go his way, and then just managing to flip it and then going in and getting a triple. I mean, an impressive war there so far, and we've still got so much to go here, Judo.
We certainly do, and it is Tribe Gaming that now need to get the 3-star, put the pressure back on MKMA, and it is Eve Maxi with a very similar attack using the dragons and the super minions. If you are watching at home, this is sure to be one of the most exciting attacks right into the meta with the new super troops. And you see Eve Maxi using the lightning spells to the left and the lightning and earthquake in combination with the Royal Champion to take down the Inferno Tower on the right, Woody. A really interesting start.
Gotta hand it to Tuho once again. First time in the arena, and he picks up the triple, really sending it back to Eve Maxey and forcing him to get a big hit right now to keep Tribe competitive. Eve Maxey has so much competitive experience on the esports stage, it's impossible to list off all of the events that he's been in. But he was here in March 2019 with Tribe Gaming and also competed in the July qualifier. Hasn't yet made it to that big level up on the very top, but has got so many months of experience, you know he's going to be able to leverage that in this big dragon hit. But can he keep pace with Tuho, just able to pull off the first triple with Mass Dragon Super Minions? It's exciting times, Judo, to watch these new armies at work. Pulling out the clan castle. They've got a little bit of competition here. Drops a freeze and grabs one air defense. A second one's going down to Dragon Fire, and here we go!
The Grand Warden's ability was beautifully used there, Woody, to catch all of the dragons and the minions as they started to split around the base. Also helped them through the town hall. We had the battle blimp helping to create pathing, and he now has a good swoop through the base, but I am a little bit worried that things have split up too much, and there is a lot of force coming down onto the dragons. They are going down fast here, Woody. We still have the Archer Queen's ability, but the single target Inferno looks very dangerous. In fact, the Queen is unfortunately not even going to get to that area. You could see how the dragons fanned out, and unfortunately, he just lost the firepower moving through the base from that point.
One of the most important things about these mass dragon attacks are keeping your dragons on target, firing away as efficiently as possible. The kind of pancake slap that this base took from those dragons allowed them to be a bit more spread out, and that gave the defenses on the backside more time to fire at the dragons and just whittle them away one by one. They're not as beefy as Electro Dragons, so they really need to leverage that high damage output with rage spells and protection from the Grand Warden. Him going down a little bit earlier too was just another nail in the coffin for that hit. Tribe Gaming languishing now with just 7 stars off of their first 3 attacks against MKMA, perfect in their first 2 hits, Judo.
They certainly are, and they will be wanting to take it even further. We now have YWW with the same attack strategy, but a different spell composition. Notice again, though, that we have 5 skeleton spells. In the previous attack, they used it to tank some of the more dangerous defenses for the dragons, and a very quick start here, Woody. We have the dragons in, the super minions, the stone slammer. It is all going off right now, and he is charging to the town hall, wanting to get this base done and dusted incredibly fast.
Really brave hit from YWW. Finding that town hall near the exterior of the base led him to have the bravery necessary to drop that siege machine earlier. A lot of times attackers will hold on to it until the late stage of the hit just to be safe and have a plan B to finish off the town hall if necessary. YWW got a perfect entry on Nick's base, but unfortunately these dragons are kind of spreading out a bit too much, swooping along to the bottom edge. They are not protected by the Grand Warden at all, and with a single target Inferno about to start heating up on them, that forced out a skeleton spell from YWW. This is not looking as strong as the previous attacks from MKMA, and 3 stars is certainly not guaranteed. He's still pushing in hard though, and has got a chance to make it happen. Free spell on that scatter shot, but the dragons are not going for it, Judo.
Oh, they are certainly not. He is adapting all over the place. Skeleton spell here, bat spell there, freeze spell, everything happening here, Woody. The coordination is on point, but unfortunately, the dragon's not going in the direction that he wants. But the Royal Champion, look, she is up there next to the single target Inferno. If that can go down, oh, it doesn't. The Royal Champion goes down, and at this point, it is all going to be the percentage. Surely the Archer Queen cannot get through to that single. She takes down the Archer Queen on defense, but she's not going to get it, Woody. Oh my word, so close.
There was a Royal Champion attacking that compartment earlier on, and it was just the defensive skeleton trap that shut her down and denied access to that last single target Inferno. If she had not had those skeletons up against her, if YWW had brought a poison spell or maybe just a little bit more troop fire to help out in that compartment, the single target would have gone down. It then wouldn't have been there to burn up the Archer Queen, who would have been able to support the attack on the scatter shot. That's just the wave of dominoes that fall and can result in the difference being either a 2-star 95% or a triple, Banks.
I mean, it's amazing to even have to say this, but due to the way that this war even began, it looks like these attacks are starting to slow down a little bit. The momentum is starting to drop, even though YWW just got a 94% 2-star. He even mentioned that before that he wanted to prove that he could show how to use the super minions, and he used a lot of them then, but it just didn't quite get in the triple there, Judo.
Yeah, not quite enough. It was an interesting approach, but it is all on Lexnos right now. For Tribe Gaming, they have to get another 3-star. They have to pull themselves back into this war, and fast. There is only 2 attacks left per team, and MKMA currently lead on stars and percentage. Starting with a Queen charge to the right-hand side of the base, and it is set up beautifully here, Woody, with the haste spell and the balloons.
Poison misses the CC troops, though, having to drop it onto the super minion. It's not going to be able to clip onto the headhunters out front, and that Archer Queen's taking a ton of punishment, forcing out a second freeze spell now to try to deal with these troops. She's firing away on skeleton traps in the front end, but the headhunters are still locking her down, and that is a third freeze spell on the CC troops. Lexnos has dropped all of his freezes just to deal with the CC defenses for YWW, holding up strong and firm in the first stage of this hit, Judo.
Very well spotted, Woody. That was a crucial error in this attack. Can Lexnos adapt? Because he doesn't have a freeze for the single Inferno, so he has to use the Queen's ability here. And there is even a couple of other goblins coming out of the clan castle just to continue to rub salt in the wounds. Nevertheless, he gets the clan castle, rages the Queen, but he has got to ensure he gets the value before starting the lava loon, Woody.
He's got a lot heading up against him. He spent so many spells early on, but hey, he's got the job done. It was a Pyrrhic victory, but the forces from the right end have knocked apart that entire corner. That Archer Queen still healthy and charging away. Is going to have a lot of forces up against her this day. Lexnos retargets onto the Archer Queen. Ranged up healers do their best to keep her topped off. She's taking a lot of fire from the Expos. Locked onto a wall now. She might barely survive for a bit longer, but that is going to be the last rage spell to keep her alive.
Wow, he took down the Archer Queen, though. When you think of the value he has taken out with the Archer Queen despite the start of this attack, it is quite remarkable, you have to say, and keeps the Queen alive. But the issue, Woody, is 40 seconds on the clock. We have the Grand Warden's ability trying to help the balloons through the town hall. There is not a lot left in this base. The Queen has really been the MVP of this attack, but we are into the final 30 seconds. He has to start using the rest of his troops, using these super wall breakers to try and bust the Queen out of that compartment. 18 seconds. Time is running out for Lexnos. Oh my word.
This is a disaster for Queen Walk attacks. Lexnos used so much to keep his bay alive, but Archer Queen was too slow in the end, running out of time now with plenty of troops on the board, but not enough to get the cleanup finished off. 88% for Lexnos is going to be a tearjerker for fans of Tribe Gaming, as their fourth hit leaves them with just 9 stars, Judo.
It does, and it really leaves the door open for MKMA now. If they were to get a 3-star, it is very much their war to lose. But Lexnos, give him his credit. He kept the Queen alive in the most difficult of situations. But the defense of MKMA proving costly again for Tribe Gaming. You can see the super minions on defense were indeed very powerful as well.
Next attack, as we are not holding back. MK Zone from MKMA might be the attacker to save the day for his squad. Just a triple here will put them so far ahead that it will be almost impossible for Tribe to come back at that point. He's brought another aerial assault strat using those mass drags, but has eschewed the super minions, instead going for super goblins to help funneling on the early stage of this hit. He's pulled out the CC troops, 3 super minions coming on in, and that Barbarian King is going to be left in a lurch, unable to hit those guys up top. It's just going to be the poison spell to tick away at them, Judo.
It certainly is, and they can go down to that, but it really just forces, with the Archer Queen and the Great Range, a freeze spell. But in this case, MK Joan had the king in that area, allowed the super minions to remain in the poison, and the interesting thing about this attack is the entirety of the north of the base is down, and notice the Electro Dragon to the right-hand side, which will keep the dragons swooping through. We mentioned this earlier, Woody, you have to keep the dragons in one form, moving to the town hall, and that is exactly what he is doing in this attack.
That is perfectly analyzed, Judo. That Electro Dragon hopefully is hanging on to the outer edge. Will keep those dragons in the interior, but no! He has not done his job. A bit too slow and shutting down those defenses a bit too late. MK Joan has instead had his dragons move all the way to the outer edge. They'll lock on now to the Town Hall, popping it down for the 2-star, but it is going to be a long haul, making it back to the interior. Defensive Archer Queen about to lock onto these dragons as soon as they wander a little bit closer into range, and there they go. Freeze spell is down to shut her out of contention, but this Grand Warden has already used his ability. We only have the Royal Champion and Archer Queen on the back end for the remaining cleanup attempt, and there's a lot left to be done in only 1 minute, Judo.
Things are going down fast, Woody. He is trying his best to take down the scattershot, eliminate as much damage as possible before sending in the Royal Champion. Try and path her correctly through the base. Here she comes from the top to directly target the inside of the base, and it could be enough with the freeze, the Royal Champion, and the Queen's ability. Pops that Queen's ability to try and get through, Woody, but the Tornado Trap slowing down the Royal Champion, the central area of Eve Maxi's base, really proving difficult here for MK Joan. But
no!
Oh, the Queen!
Too late on the freeze, and he lost the Queen to the multi in the Archer Tower, firing away. MK Joan would have had a lot of difficulty, even if he had kept her alive and knocked down that multi. I think that the Royal Champion was still going to fall to that Archer Tower combo out back, but man, barely falling a little bit short. 10 stars on the board means Tribe is in a really perilous spot here. Thanks.
Yes, they are indeed. They're in a little bit of a sticky situation. MK Joan managing to bring in a 91% 2-star, but that's still a higher percentage difference than all of the other attacks, apart from Nick from Tribe Gaming. So it's going to be a really, really tough uphill slog for Tribe. But something drastic's got to happen. Something drastic has happened in these previous qualifiers, Judo. So, I mean, we're just going to have to sit here and wait and see.
Yes, it is certainly an uphill battle for Tribe Gaming. They have to get a 3-star on the board, and then they have to hope for a very low percentage 2-star from MKMA. But all they can do is concentrate on their attacks. So it is Itsu with the Lightning Spell and the Earthquake alongside the Royal Champion to take the single down incredibly fast, Woody. And we do have the Dragons and the Super Minions for this attack.
Yeah, popping that Royal Champion ability early is going to be great for the damage to start off with, but he's not going to get the bonus from that heal that power usually provides for her. So you take what you can get here. Itsu has got a Sisyphean task ahead of him, rolling that boulder uphill so many times to make it to the Clash of Clans World Championship qualifiers, but always falling back down. So far this year, not yet able to qualify for World Finals. He is going to be the last attacker for Tribe, and he needs to get a 3-star here and just hope and pray that their defenses can hold up in the next attack. Mass Dragon supported with Super Minions is the new favorite strategy of pros in the Clash of Clans World Championship for this October qualifier. They've taken down the Town Hall, and with the protection from that Grand Warden, will stay safe from the Gigabomb. Royal Champion on the back end got a lot of work done on that left corner, and that is going to provide some fantastic funneling for these Dragons, Judo.
It certainly is, and the Grand Warden's ability kept all of them alive through the Town Hall. The heal spell is a very good choice because it means that the Dragons and the Super Minions can benefit from that. And through the center of the base, the Dragons now start to fan out. This is where it gets a little bit difficult, but most of the dangerous defenses are down, Woody. He still has a lot of Dragons, a lot of Super Minions. It could happen here for Itsu, but I think it is going to be a close one.
By Jove, I think he's got it. He's got so many dragons up on the top side. That multi-target Inferno is heating up, but it's not going to be enough to stop him. That air defense is still the last thing that he's got to worry about, but oh my God. All of a sudden, they've been popped down out of the sky, and Itsu's running into a lot of trouble in the final wave of the space. A flying Grand Warden is no match for the air defense, and with one last little bit of oomph, he's pushing as hard as he can into the last bit of base. But Itsu, with 90% on the board, has not got much of a hope with just a dragon left.
Oh, super unfortunate. Pulling into the multi-target Inferno at the end was very difficult for Itsu, as it just shredded the super minions, got the dragons very low on health, and that one remaining air defense slowly picked them off. So now Tribe Gaming, with only the 11 stars, really need to hope, well, they've got to hope for something drastic here. MKMA just need to close this one out with probably just the star, Woody.
Do you figure he was hoping to use the freeze spell on the air defense, Archer Tower, and multi-inferno and missed it? Or are they too far apart in that little bottom compartment? I'm not sure if you remember or if they'll show us on the replay, but it was a really tricky spot at the last few moments, and it seemed like it might be just barely possible to clutch a triple, but I don't know. Was he dead in the water, Judo?
Yeah, I think he probably just wanted to get as many dragons to that area and surround it, because if you can be super efficient at the start, then you can often just overpower the end of the base, and I think that's what Itsu was planning for. But who else for MKMA than XC? He took part last year in the World Championship final and won the entire thing with Nova, so if anybody can really set this one home, get the victory, surely it is XC, Woody.
XC only needs a 2-star to triumph over Tribe. A big old Tesla farm out the bottom corner is going to prevent him from getting that early entry that he was hoping for, but it's probably good news for him. Knocking down those Teslas will mean that he doesn't have to worry about them on the backside, especially since he's using Hog Riders, doesn't want them distracted and fanning out differently from what he had intended. So early stab in here. I guess that those Teslas were meant to try to block a Queen charge at the bottom. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was just to try and give a little bit extra protection to the Town Hall, and it worked in this situation. He really wanted the Barbarian King to get in there, take it out, but he can easily adapt here. Send anything else to the Town Hall. He just needs to hope that the Hog Riders continue to track around the top, because he does not want to use the Grand Warden's ability in that area. Notice that he's holding on to the Battle Blimp. He might even swap to the Stone Slammer for the Town Hall, but nevertheless, the Royal Champion is in that area, probably going to clean up. The Hog Riders, though, look like they're struggling a little bit to the top of the base, Woody. They are on the outside, and I'm not sure that it's going to be enough for the 3 stars, but if he gets the 2, it will be the victory for MKMA.
Plenty of extra buildings on the outside to clean up, and with so many hogs left in the center, it is impossible to deny XC. Only hitting the surrender button would save Tribe now, and with that 50%, MKMA have done it. Their first showing has shut down Tribe's hopes of advancing in the winner's bracket. They'll be knocked down in this double elimination format, and we'll have to try again later on today.
Well, there you have it, a 12-11 victory for MKMA in this opening matchup. We've seen some fantastic attack strategies that we have never seen before, Woody, because of the new Super Troops, and I am sure that as we continue through today's qualifier, we will see even more. But as you said, MKMA, they will move forward to tomorrow. They don't have to worry about battling again today, but Tribe Gaming moved down, and we will find out next who they will be facing later on today.
Wild hits early on in this war, putting up triples back to back. MKMA slowed down a bit in the mid to late stage of the war, but had enough from the early start to get the victory. XC, the final attacker from MKMA, finding a bit lower overall damage percentage than his compatriots did earlier on, but nevertheless, it's enough. They will be up on top and get to take a break now, waiting for tomorrow when they will have another chance to fight.
A strong start from both clans, but ultimately an outstanding performance from MKMA. Congratulations to them, not letting the pressure get to them of being in the opening war, and especially up against a clan like Tribe Gaming. They're going to be moving on to